Homestage Feature.
Hey, welcome again to Homestage Feature. I'm Gail of Up 987 DYFR FM Cebu. If this is your first time to hear about this show, let me tell you about it. Homestage Feature is a musical moment shared from an artist's home to yours, and it is heard on the new J 103.3 in Cagayan de Oro City, Up 987 DYFR FM in Cebu City, and now XD. These are FM radio and online platforms of FEBC Philippines. Homestage Feature brings you singers and songwriters from all over the place so we can enjoy together what we all love, and that is music. So do follow the new J Up 987 and now XD on Facebook. And as promised during our last episode, we will continue to know more about Audrey Marie, an independent Filipino-Canadian Christian artist. And we are so thankful that she said yes to our invite to be interviewed on this show. Hello, Audrey. Welcome back.
Hi. Hello.
Thanks again for being here. In last week's episode, we talked about you being a songwriter aside from being a singer. Now, where do you get inspiration from when you write songs?
Yes. So my inspiration, I guess it really came from conversations that I have with people that I'm really close with, or I guess like interesting things that happened in my past. I guess from life experiences. But with the conversations, it's actually really interesting. I guess for an example, there was one of the songs that I've written. It literally the whole song was basically a conversation that I had with one of my best friends, and it was funny because the conversation went on till 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I wrote it down, and the next day I knew that I was going to the studio the next day, and it was funny because I told my producer, hey, I wanna record this new song, can we check it out? And it was only 2 takes, and that was it. Yeah, so it was,
You're really gifted.
Yeah, that's my favorite ones. My favorite ones are basically the conversations that I had with other people, and kind of like having light bulbs all the time. But definitely some of the inspiration comes from some of my experiences in my life, and pretty much just reflecting back on it, and really praying about it and talking to God, and like asking God to really speak to me about a song. So yeah.
Nice. So what do you think makes your music different from others?
Yeah, so I guess this kind of reflects a little bit from our last conversation with the jazz music. So that's one of the things that was a little bit more unique, because jazz music is something that I was very, very influenced in, and also with my voice as well, and kind of using that genre, which that genre can sometimes it's like using that as Christian music is, I guess, is a very, very unique thing, because I don't really hear a lot of Christian music that's like that's kind of jazzy. Yeah, but now it's like there is a bit more. I do get inspired from some other Christian artists as well, but I guess for me, I really love to write songs about things that I envisioned, and things that really reflect on my past. So it's kind of like true stories in this sort of way. So yeah.
Wow. And we look forward to hearing from more of your songs.
Oh, thank
So
you.
how many songs have you written?
I'm trying to count it so far.
Can you still count?
Yeah, so it was actually not that long ago when I wrote my past album, and it's called Healing. It really reflects on just basically mental health, and those songs were about 8, and I think so far that have been like the 2 new singles, so I guess that would be 10 so far that's been released, but there is a lot more coming. me and my producer are actually planning another album. So, so
Wow,
yeah,
we're
so there's more
excited. We're
coming.
excited
Yeah.
to hear from that album. Now, we all have goals in life, right?
Mhm.
As an artist, what impact do you want to make?
Yeah, so I guess the biggest thing that I guess I was really praying for was to connect with my listeners. I remember from Painted Smile, that was a really big, I was just really, really blessed with that because I prayed a lot about it to God and asking him to if there's to get that opportunity to like really talk to my listeners and connect with
Mm,
them. And it was
mm-mm,
really interesting when whenever someone would message me on Instagram that they heard my song and
uh,
basically kind of sharing their own life and saying how much it really encouraged them and it really it really motivated them to keep going. And
mm,
I know there's
mm-mm,
some people they had their own stories. And if for example if ever they lost someone in their life, they kind of reflected back to some of my songs that I've had. Or if ever they felt like they were feeling very insecure, they would share about that and feel and just basically um it's interesting because I think sometimes they would like they would be like, oh, thank you so much for that. And it's kind of like a segue to be like, you know what, don't thank me, thank God, because God really used me to speak to you. And
mm,
um even though you're thanking me, I really think God, this is all God. This is all God. And I'm really thankful that God used my music to connect you in that way. So that's definitely the number one goal that I have whenever I write
mm.
music.
And it's fulfilling, right? Especially
Mhm.
when you hear from the people who have listened to your songs.
Yeah, it's very, very fulfilling. And I guess it's like, even for myself, like, it's been really interesting because I know even though when I write music, of course, not everybody's perfect. We tend to have our days that we feel down, or we tend to have our days where we feel insecure, or we reflect on stuff in our past. And um, it's interesting because sometimes, like, I think, like, lately, whenever I do feel down, I would listen back to my songs and be like, why did I write this? And then I listen to it
Mm,
again and be like, hey, like, I think I really meant it when I sang this. So I should also think like I should also feel this way as well. So I should just, and it's also God kind of just being like, there's a reason why you write this. Like, use your music to
mm.
also speak to you too. So yeah, not only is it it's a way to connect with others, I'm really thankful it's a way to connect with myself too. So
Well, it's just really heartwarming to see artists like you using music for a greater purpose to encourage people, to bring hope, especially those who don't feel okay. And that's totally relatable, right? Especially these days, a lot of people are not okay. So
mhm.
it's just heartwarming to have these kinds of songs that we can listen to, especially when we feel down. So thank you. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
music. And you'll be singing another song for us. It's called Letting Go. You just released this song, right? Or is it to
Mhm.
be released?
Yeah,
You just released it.
it just released it on my birthday.
Wow, it's a birthday celebration, a big birthday celebration. I can already feel the emotions from the title itself,
Mhm.
letting go. So can you share with us what this song is about?
Yes, of course. So letting go, it really talks about my experience when I I really put some of my friendships and relationships up on a pedestal. And I
Mm,
remember I would feel very, very, very heartbroken whenever they are no longer in my life or ever I disappointed them.
mm,
I guess that's in terms of mental health. I was in my past, I was in a very, very, very dark place. And I remember with letting go, writing it down, I was really thinking about um in my past, I was thinking about things that I've done to them. And I used to really beat myself up for it. I used to really be disappointed in myself and angry. And
mm,
at the end of it, when you go through that healing process, the first thing before forgiving anyone else or forgiving whatever happened, you need to forgive yourself. So
True.
with letting go, before you let go of anything, forgive yourself first. And even with the chorus, like it talks about like, I forgive myself from all the hurt and shame. You have accepted my heart when I felt so weak from the pain. And I guess that comes with God, because he accepted us no matter what we were going through. And to me, I just think that's so amazing. And I'm like, even thinking about it right now, I'm like, oh, I'm in awe right now. God is so gracious, and it's amazing. And yeah, I guess with that, like with my past, thinking about like, oh, certain people that are no longer in my life, even though it can tend to trigger me if ever I would think about it again and feel hurt about it again. At the end of the day, I need to remember, like, I forgave myself for all of these things that I really beat myself up for, because God forgave me. And if God forgives you, and you want to, and you're following your loving Father, then it really doesn't hurt to forgive yourself, because there's
Yeah.
so much more that God has planned for you. And I guess with this song, it's a lot more simpler than my other music, but the message with it is so powerful. And it specifically talks about like the relationships that are no longer in my life anymore. And even and like having, even with anxiety for that too. But I guess the chorus is just the one that's the most powerful one, and it really
Mm.
reflects on the Bible verse, Psalms 32:5. It says, I acknowledge my mistakes to you and you forgave them. And that's such a
Mm.
simplistic verse, but just the
Yeah.
fact that like God forgave you, he forgave you for all of the sins, because we're all not perfect.
Mm.
We've done our wrongs. And really with this song, it just kind of, it's like if you're coming into the song with the impression that you're not perfect, but there's a difference between knowing that you're not perfect and knowing that you're not perfect and like kind of beating yourself up for it. It's kind of, that's the reason why God sent his son to die for us for our sins. He didn't do that for nothing. So I guess with this, just as with this song, it's just you could tell it's a very powerful song. So yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure the message of this song will really speak to a lot of people, especially when it comes to relationships. We
Yeah.
can't wait to hear you sing this song. So, friends, here is Audrey Marie for Letting Go, live on Homestage feature.
Every time I see them walk by, my mind starts to turn. It reminds me of remembrance when I tainted their heart. All the times I ask for my pardon, my pride turned to disgrace. Everyone says you'll get over it, but my heart can't take the pain. I forgive myself from all the hurt and shame. You have accepted my heart when I felt so weak from the pain. Even when they leave my life, you were always here by my side. I run to you as all the memories start to fade. Through the times I humbly surrendered, your grace remains. I know that I don't deserve it, but your love stays the same. Through life's fearful path, you hold me still. The storms within my soul, but my faith in you prevails. I forgive myself from all the hurt and shame. You have accepted my heart when I felt so weak from the pain. Even when they leave my life, you were always here by my side. I run to you as all the memories start to fade. It's time to let go. I'm thankful for the past.
Thank you so much, Audrey, for your time. Our time difference alone is a huge sacrifice on your part, but we truly appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your songs with us, and I trust that the Lord will continue to use you, to use your songs, your gifts and skills to bring a message of hope, especially in these uncertain times. Now, last question. How can the viewers, the listeners, access your songs?
Yeah. Well, first, thank you so much for this opportunity and for interviewing me. It's been really great. So yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, so for my listeners, you can listen to my music on Spotify, Apple Music. If you guys don't have any of those memberships, that's okay, because I'm on YouTube as well. You could just search up Audrey Marie. And I think you can search up Painted Smile right next to it, so you can listen to Painted Smile. And it's the same thing for Letting Go. But if you guys have Instagram as well, I have Instagram, and you can find my platforms there too, to find my music. So my Instagram is audreymarie.co.
Nice. And of course, the new J Up 987 and Now XD will be playing Audrey Marie's song. So thanks again, Audrey, and to our beloved listeners and viewers, thank you so much for joining us today. This is Gail for Homestage Feature. See you next time. God bless you and keep safe.
Homestage Feature.